Hey, what's up? My name is John Bonjour. I am a comic book artist and film enthusiast. I have not drawn any art, but I would like to enthuse about the concept of film more than anything else. But I just want to note that we had two really great comic book movies in Superman and Fantastic Four coming out in the same month from two different comic book companies. And we have the opportunity to be really cool about this, or we have the opportunity to create a culture war the likes of which we've never seen. Just wanted to talk about that real quick. Okay, so Fantastic Four came out. I was holding off on this video because Fantastic Four had not come out yet, but I was thought of it between the two, between Superman and Fantastic Four, and I thought to myself, if I make this video and Fantastic Four is bad, there's nothing we can do. There is no coming back from that. It'll be a DC versus Marvel thing. It'll be a Superman versus Fantastic Four thing. But since Fantastic Four is good, I wanted to talk about this because I think it is genuinely important to the degree that any movie discussion, discourse kind of thing can be important, which is to say, not very much, but it's important to me. In the comic book world, there is this weird feeling that you are only allowed to be a fan of Marvel or DC. There's this very strange, do you like Superman and Batman and the gods, or do you like Spider-Man and Thor, well, Thor's a god, and Spider-Man and Captain America and these humans with powers. There's this very strange camp mentality that people have developed over the Marvel versus DC kind of thing, and I'll be honest, it's dumb as hell. It's a stupid way to consume media. It's a stupid way to live. You should be able to like Batman and Spider-Man. You should be able to like Superman and the Hulk. You should be able to like Superman and the Fantastic Four. But it is a thing that we've seen time and time again. People somehow dig deeper into these trenches and they feel like they have to defend their company from the other company, and it's all stupid, okay? And I just want to say that out loud because we are in a moment, this is the first time maybe in the history of cinema that we might be getting good Marvel and good DC movies within the same year consistently for a while. So we have the chance right now to set the tone on how we want to do this. And I don't think the way to do that is by comparing. Comparing is good. Arguing is bad. By saying that one is inherently better than the other, or even by saying that one company is better than the other, it's not good. It's not smart, okay? And I'm already seeing this happen. I'm seeing people be like, oh yeah, well, Superman beat the pants off Fantastic Four, or like, oh, well, Fantastic Four crushed Superman. And it's like, we don't have to. We don't have to do that. You know what's not happening? Nobody is saying, oh, well, Superman beat Jurassic World Rebirth. You want to know why? Because they're completely different movies. They're completely different things, and they're allowed to be different things. And I think we need to apply that here. Yes, obviously the similarity is that these are comic book movies, and that's going to continue being true. But why do that? Like, what do we gain from saying, oh, well, this is so much better than the other? I mean, obviously, okay, this is the problem. When DCEU was coming out, when Man of Steel was good, but when Batman v Superman and Aquaman 2 and The Flash, when those movies were coming out, there was this sentiment that, oh, a DC movie's coming out and a Marvel movie's coming out. There was this feeling that Marvel was inherently better than DC in terms of film because it was. And maybe that'll be true here. Like, there's the potential that DC is incredible and Marvel falls all the way off. But as it stands right now, we should want both of them to succeed. Like, we should want DC to be really good and we should want Marvel to be really good because that competition will make both of them better. The reason that Marvel has been feeling like they've lost a step recently is because they don't have any competition. They have nothing. They've been top dog for too long. So they feel like they can just pump out as much as they want and we'll just all take it in and all enjoy it. And I mostly do, to be fair. But they just believe that we'll just go and see whatever they pump out, and it doesn't really matter the quality. And they're starting to see some returns on that they're not loving, to be fair, because they haven't been as good, generally speaking. Captain America was fine. It was okay. But it could have been great, and it should have been great. And I genuinely believe if we were in a world where DC and Marvel were both really good, Captain America Brave New World would have been a lot better because it would have had to be a lot better because it would have been up against Swamp Thing or Lobo or whatever DC movie they were making at the time. So we want these movies to be good. We want all of them to be good. And there's no reason to try to push one down before they even get out the gate. Superman is the first movie in the DCEU, or the DCU. We don't know what that universe is going to look like yet. That said, it is also an incredible movie, so let's just chill out about this. We don't need to have this culture war. What we need is genuine discourse on these films. And that's been true for a long time. Before DC even tried to start making new movies, we have needed better discourse on comic book movies because there's this weird, like, fan service versus cinema battle. And I don't think it has to be that. I think there is a way to have cinema that is also fan service and fan service that is also cinema. And for some reason, people have gotten in their heads and they have decided that because either one, they are fans enough of the franchise, they should get whatever they want no matter what. And if it isn't exactly what they looked like, what they wanted it to look like, then it's bad and it sucks and it should never be. Or B, they've decided that things that are kind of silly and comic booky are just not art. They're not cinema, they're nothing. And so why would I even care about them? So there's no reason to talk about them as art. And both of those things are wrong because Thunderbolts has really solid messaging. It's very well shot and it's really interesting. Superman, also really interesting messaging. There's a lot of discussion that can be had on Superman about immigrants, about the hope, the positivity, about whether or not we live in a world where that's even possible. Not Superman, obviously Superman is impossible, much to my daily sadness. But do we live in a world where it is possible to be a good human being that cares about other human beings regularly without gain? That is an interesting discussion that I think Superman could be having, but instead, the discussions that are around Superman are, it wasn't Henry Cavill, he has trunks and that's stupid. And it just makes me kind of mad because these are movies that are, thought is put into comic book movies. Sometimes it doesn't pay off, sometimes the studio wins out over the artists that are trying to make the movie, but generally speaking, artists are making comic book movies. People who care about these things are making these things. So why would we not want to engage with them as art? Because if we engage with them as art, once again, it requires the studios to do better and be better. If we give in to what they feel like they want us to think, which is just, oh, it has the Red Hulk, so it must be good, then we'll just keep getting things like Captain America: Brave New World. But instead, we can look at it from, yes, Red Hulk is cool to see, and also the writing's kind of bad, it feels chopped up, there's a lot missing, and the character isn't given his due. Those are important things to be talking about. So I think the weird distinction is it's important to be looking critically at these movies. My point of this video is not just be happy, take whatever they give you, and shut up about it. That is not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is be critical of all of these movies equally and as art, not as very, very, very nitpicky, weird comic book adaptations. I don't see the benefit in being upset that there's lines on Superman's costume, outside of just it's interesting to look at maybe for a minute. But people who don't watch the Fantastic Four because they have decided before seeing it that Pedro Pascal is a bad Reed Richards, you are welcome to do that. It is the wrong call because that is not a way to engage with film. It's not. You shouldn't dislike a movie because you don't agree with a creative decision. You should dislike a movie because the creative decision didn't work. And so I think we need to be looking at these movies critically and equally critically, no matter which side you like more than the other, because if they're both good, and they will be if we're more critical of them, if they're both good, we can get great comic book movies that are from both worlds, and we get to enjoy both worlds and live in both of those. And also, critical does not mean war because mine is better than yours. Let's jump into the future, and let's say around the same time, Supergirl and Spider-Man are coming out. Let's say Supergirl is incredible and Spider-Man is fine. God forbid. If that is the case, I think the way to engage that is by looking at Spider-Man as a piece of art and looking at Supergirl as a piece of art. There is no reason to pit those things against each other. And we can say that Supergirl had these things and maybe had some flaws. And we can say that Spider-Man needed to have this element or was missing this thing or whatever. Like we can critically agree and disagree, but there is no reason to turn this into a war because I want comic book movies to be good. And I think if we just are open to them and if we look at them critically and from a wise perspective, they will be. So, point of this video. Don't be a jerk about this. Let's all be cool for a minute about the Marvel versus DC thing and enjoy that we get to live in a world where both of them are making and releasing good movies that are worth watching and really fun. Thank you so much for watching this video and checking out my channel. If you'd like to hear more of my thoughts on movies, comics, TV shows, anything of the like, hit the subscribe, and comment down below would you like me to review next or do none of those things because I am not your dad.